Hello, I'm Willie from the Ozarks, and we're ready for our July 4th of 2022's lesson in A Course in Miracles workbook for students. Reading to you from the original edition. Lesson 185. I want the peace of God. I want the peace of God. To say these words is nothing, but to mean these words is everything. To say these words is nothing. I want the peace of God. But to mean these words is everything. If you could but mean them for just an instant, there would be no further sorrow possible for you in any form, in any place or time. Herein would be heaven would be completely given back to full awareness, memory of God entirely restored, the resurrection of all creation fully recognized. Wow. It's a little dark here on the edge of the woods, and I think I'm going to put some glasses on to read this. The sun's low in the sky. No one can mean these words and not be healed. No one can mean these words, I want the peace of God, and not be healed. He cannot play with dreams nor think he is himself a dream. He cannot make a hell and think it real. He wants the peace of God, and it is given him. For that is all he wants, and that is all he will receive. Many have said these words, but few indeed have meant them. You have but to look upon the world you see around you to be sure how very few they are. The world would be completely changed should any two agree these words express the only thing they want. Two minds with one intent become so strong that what they will becomes the will of God. Two minds with one intent become so strong that what they will becomes the will of God. For minds can only join in truth. In dreams, no two can share the same intent. To each, the hero of the dream is different, the outcome wanted not the same for both. Loser and gainer merely shift about in changing patterns as the ratio of gain to loss and loss to gain takes on a different aspect or another form. Yet compromise alone a dream can bring. Sometimes it takes the form of union, but only the form. The meaning must escape the dream, for compromising is the goal of dreaming. Minds cannot unite in dreams, they merely bargain. And what bargain can give them the peace of God? Illusions come to take his place. Illusions come to take his place, and what he means is lost to sleeping minds intent on compromise, each to his gain and to another's loss. They merely bargain. So minds cannot unite in dreams, they merely bargain. And what bargain can give them the peace of God? Illusions come to take his place. And what he means is lost to sleeping minds intent on compromise, each to his gain and to another's loss. To mean you want the peace of God is to renounce all dreams. To mean you want the peace of God is to renounce all dreams. For no one means these words who wants illusions, and who therefore seeks the means which brings illusions. He has looked on them and found them wanting. Now he seeks to go beyond them, recognizing that another dream would offer nothing more than all the others. Dreams are one to him. Well, there's the adept, isn't it? And he has learned their only difference is one of form. For one will bring the same despair and misery as do the rest. The mind which means that all it wants is peace must join with other minds, for that is how peace is obtained. The mind which means that all it wants is peace must join with other minds, for that is how peace is obtained. And when the wish for peace is genuine, the means for finding it are given in a form each mind which seeks for it in honesty can understand. Whatever form the lesson takes is planned for him in such a way that he cannot mistake it. He cannot mistake it if his asking is sincere. That sentence again, whatever form the lesson takes is planned for him in such a way that he cannot mistake it if his asking is sincere. Wow, isn't that nice to know that we got teachers planning our lessons for us, and that if we really are sincere, we'll get them? Well, that makes it all the more important about your little part, your little willingness. And if he asks without sincerity, there is no form in which the lesson will meet with acceptance and be truly learned. Let us today devote our practicing to recognizing that we really mean the words we say. We want the peace of God. This is no idle wish. These words do not request another dream be given us. They do not ask for compromise or try to make another bargain in the hope that there may yet be one which can succeed where all the rest have failed. To mean these words acknowledges illusions are in vain, requesting the eternal in the place of shifting dreams, which seem to change in what they offer, but are one in nothingness. To mean these words acknowledges illusions are in vain, requesting the eternal in the place of shifting dreams, which seem to change in what they offer, but are one in nothingness. Today, devote your practice periods to careful searching of your mind to find the dreams you cherish still. Are you still, remember, even though he hadn't told us in a while, he wanted us to continue the morning and evening extended period, at least 5 minutes. 10 would be better, and 15 better still. And as your disturbing thoughts cease to intrude upon your peace, you will find that 30 minutes is too short a time to offer to finding peace and being devoted to peace. Today's devote your practice periods to careful searching of your mind to find the dreams you cherish still. What do you ask for in your heart? Forget the words you use in making your requests. Consider but what your belief will comfort you and bring you happiness. Consider but what you believe will comfort you and bring you happiness. But be you not dismayed by lingering illusions, for their form is not what matters now. Let not some dreams be more acceptable, reserving shame and secrecy for others. They are one. And being one question should be asked of all of them. Is this what I would have in place of heaven and the peace of God? Whoa, what a question to ask all your dreams of whatever comforts you. And being one question should be asked of all of them. Is this what I would have in place of heaven and the peace of God? This is the choice you make. Be not deceived that it is otherwise. No compromise is possible in this. You choose God's peace, or you have asked for dreams, and dreams will come as you requested them. Yet will God's peace come just as certainly, and to remain with you forever. It will not be gone with every twist and turning of the road, to reappear unrecognized in forms which shift and change with every step you take. You want the peace of God, and so do all who seem to seek for dreams. And so do all who seem to seek for dreams. For them as well as for yourself you ask, but this when you make this request with deep sincerity. For thus you reach to what you really want and join your own intent with what they seek above all things, perhaps unknown to them, but sure to you. You have been weak at times, uncertain in your purpose, and unsure of what you wanted, where to look for it, and where to turn for help in the attempt. Help has been given you, and would you not avail yourself of it by sharing it? No one who truly seeks the peace of God can fail to find it, for he merely asks that he deceive himself no longer by denying to himself what is God's will. Who can remain unsatisfied who asks for what he has already? Who could be unanswered who requests an answer which is his to give? The peace of God is yours. For you it was created, given you by its creator, and established as his own eternal gift. How can you fail when you but ask for what he wills for you? And how could your request be limited to you alone? No gift of God can be unshared. It is this attribute that sets the gifts of God apart from every dream that ever seemed to take the place of truth, that you can share them. No one can lose, and everyone must gain whenever any gift of God has been requested and received by anyone. Let's read that one again. No one can lose, and everyone must gain whenever any gift of God has been requested and received by anyone. God gives but to unite. To take away is meaningless to him, and when it is as meaningless to you, you can be sure you share one will with him and he with you. That's what we want. And you will also know you share one will with all your brothers, whose intent is yours. Wow. We see God in everyone. And we see our own godness. We reach down into that part of ourselves where we're one with our Creator. It is this one intent we seek today, uniting our desires with the need of every heart, the call of every mind, the hope that lies beyond despair, the love attack would hide, the brotherhood that hate has sought to sever, but which still remains as God created it. With help like this beside us, can we fail today as we request the peace of God be given us? Wow, what a beautiful lesson. I want the peace of God. Okay, let's go take a look at our, let's see, we're going to look into chapter 21, the inner picture, section 8, perception and wishes. We'll get started on that, perception and wishes, as you're turning there. Let me tell you about another spinach. And this is a true spinach, what we'd call it yesterday, a Spinacea, oleracea. Well, this is a giant noble spinach. And I'm reading to you out of the Baker Creek catalog. I think I did yesterday too, and I don't think I mentioned that. But anyway, this is the Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds catalog, and it says of the giant noble, this is the giant of the spinach clan. Plants spread to 25 inches. Tender leaves are great for canning, steaming, or salads for those who want quantity and quality. Introduced in 1926. So that's the giant noble spinach. Okay, and I'm just alongside road at a truck stop. So there's a beautiful conifer behind me, and decided a nice place to sit down and share with my friends. So thank you all for joining me. Do you not see what all your misery comes from the strange belief that you are powerless? And like I said, this is chapter 21, section 8. Do you not see that all your misery comes from the strange belief that you are powerless? Being helpless is the cost of sin. Helplessness is sin's condition, the one requirement that it demands to be believed. Only the helpless could believe in it. Enormity has no appeal save to the little, and only those who first believed that they are little could see attraction there. Treachery to the Son of God is the defense of those who do not identify with him. and you are for him or against him. Either you love him or attack him, protect his unity or see him shattered and slain by your attack. Wow. You know, that's so much in that one. Let's look at it again, that paragraph in Perception and Wishes. Do you not see that all your misery comes from the strange belief that you are powerless? Being helpless is the cost of sin. Helplessness is sin's condition, the one requirement that it demands to be believed. Only the helpless could believe in it. Enormity has no appeal save to the little, and only those who first believe that they are little could see attraction there. Treachery to the Son of God is the defense of those who do not identify with him. And you are for him or against him. Either you love him or attack him, protect his unity or see him shattered and slain by your attack. Paragraph 2. No one believes the Son of God is powerless, and those who see themselves as helpless must believe that they are not the Son of God. No one believes the Son of God is powerless, and those who see themselves as helpless must believe they are not the Son of God. What can they be except his enemy? And what can they do but envy him his power, and by their envy make themselves afraid of it? These are the dark ones, silent and afraid, alone and not communicating, fearful the power of the Son of God will strike them dead, and raising up their helplessness against him. They join the army of the powerless to wage their war of vengeance, bitterness, and spite on him, to make him one with them. Because they do not know what they are one with, because they do not know that they are one with him, they know not whom they hate. They are indeed a sorry army, each one is likely to attack his brother or turn upon himself, as to remember they thought they had a common cause. Boy, frantic and loud and strong the dark ones seem to be, yet they know not their enemy except they hate him. In hatred they have come together, but have not joined each other. For had they done so, hatred would be impossible. If you joined each other, hatred would have been impossible. Well, he's sure showing us the way out of conflict, isn't he? The army of the powerless must be disbanded in the presence of strength. The army of the powerless must be disbanded in the presence of strength. Those who are strong are never treacherous, because they have no need to dream of power and to act out their dream. How would an army act in dreams? Any way at all. It could be seen attacking anyone with anything. Dreams have no reason in them. A flower turns into a poisoned spear, a child becomes a giant, and a mouse roars like a lion, and love is turned to hate as easily. This is no army, but a madhouse. What seems to be a planned attack is bedlam. 73. The army of the powerless is weak indeed. It has no weapons and it has no enemy. Yet it can overrun the world, and seek an enemy. But it can never find what is not there. Yes, it can dream it found an enemy, but this will shift even as it attacks, so that it runs at once to find another and never comes to rest in victory. And as it runs, it turns against itself, thinking it caught a glimpse of the great enemy, which always eludes its murderous attack by turning into something else. How treacherous does this enemy appear, who changes so it is impossible even to recognize him? How treacherous does this enemy appear, who changes so it is impossible even to recognize him? Yet hate must have a target. There can be no faith in sin without an enemy. Who that believes in sin would dare believe he has no enemy? Could he admit that no one made him powerless? Reason would surely bid him seek no longer what is not there to find. Yet first he must be willing to perceive a world where it is not, where there is no sin. He has to be able to perceive that. It is not necessary that he understand how he can see it, nor should he try. For if he focuses on what he cannot understand, he will but emphasize his helplessness and let sin tell him that his enemy must be himself. But let him only ask himself these questions, which he must decide to have it done for him. But let him only ask himself these questions, which he must decide to have it done for him. You know, if we want to have the Holy Spirit do it for us, you know, we just need to offer the willingness. And here's what he says to ask. Do I desire a world I rule instead of one which rules me? Do I desire a world where I am powerful instead of helpless? Do I desire a world in which I have no enemies and cannot sin? And do I want to see what I denied because it is the truth? You've already answered the first 3 questions, but not yet the last. We'll pick up there tomorrow. And ask yourself those questions. Do I desire a world I rule instead of one which rules me? Do I desire a world where I am powerful instead of helpless? Do I desire a world in which I have no enemies and cannot sin? And do I want to see what I denied because it is the truth? Okay, well, you all, thank you so much for joining me today. I want the peace of God. Be sure, remember, it's you want to let go of the dreams and ask sincerely, ask with real true meaning. Many who have asked, few who have been sincere, he says. Well, be the sincere ones and let your example, let everyone see that it's the right, best, good thing to do for world peace is, I say, I want the peace of God. Amen. I want the peace of God.